Hi, Phillips. Here is a bit of a Bush Tucker trial of a team sheet tantrum. We couldn't let you guys down after Tuesday, so I'm doing this from my car at the minute, and Paddy isn't, as you can see. So roles are reversed today, so much so that I even forgot to pop up the entrance music that we normally use. I forgot to pop it up in the stream, so that's why we didn't have it there. But look, it seems like it's going to be one of those days whereby there's going to be a couple of unforeseen bits and pieces that none of us thought of coming to the fore. There's been a couple of rumors, Paddy. Been a couple of rumors overnight, as they said in the IT crowd. There were rumors, but they turned out to be bullshit. And I'm kind of half hoping that phrase comes true here today. But talk to me about those. What have you seen? What's your views on it, Paddy?
Well, look, I saw a video earlier with McGinn in it, so that would suggest that it's just a rumor. So whether that was from the other day, I don't know, or somebody shit-storing or whatever it is, but it seemed to be from today when they were arriving at Villa Park. So I'm hoping that's the case. So the rumor was that McGinn and Ramsey and possibly one more had COVID, and that Tyrone Mings was injured. So we're what, about 7-8 minutes away now from finding out. So let's hope they are rumors, because we've just had such a disjointed start to the season that it's just a bit hard to take now at this stage.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know if I could take another COVID-related people having to sit out for COVID reasons and stuff like that, because look, we know that the club is battling it. We know that every club is battling at it. Like, we just played Newcastle last week and they were missing 2 goalkeepers because of it. Well, 1 goalkeeper because of it and 1 because of injury. So it's a debilitating piece. And, even though we don't know if anybody's vaccinated and whether they are or whether they're not is their own choice. But at the end of the day, there's preventative measures for COVID at the moment. And we would hope that the club are taking all these preventative measures. I'm not saying that everybody needs to be vaccinated, but so be it. If people need to be in fucking bubbles, people need to be in bubbles. But like, we should be looking after. There should, like, it's just beginning to get annoying now. I think the COVID piece, from that point of view.
Yeah. I think, and look, it's difficult for the club because, I'm not okay with how the rules are in the UK, but if you're COVID positive, you could spread it. So I don't know how many days you have, even if you're vaccinated, before you stay away from people. So it's just a mess now at this stage. And I'm pretty sure most of our guys are vaccinated. I read somewhere recently that only 10 Premier League footballers weren't vaccinated. So I don't know how true that is, but I read it on Twitter, so it must be true. And I've only seen one of them, being Fabian Delph, being an anti-vaxxer openly. So I don't know how many of them actually are. But I know if my livelihood depended on getting the vaccine, I'd be getting it regardless of what anybody thought of it.
Yeah, just going to try and position my. Yeah, that's a small bit better, so I don't get some sort of repetitive stress injury in my arm there. Let's take a look at a couple of comments. Do you know what one of the positives from today is, guys? That I won't have to fight with Twitter, because I can't put the Twitter screen up here to show what the actual team sheet is. So I'm really relying on you guys to throw it into the chat room, or Paddy to have Twitter open there in front of him. But let's throw up a couple of comments that we have there. Brendan, great to have you on board as always. Afternoon, I'll hope the rumours of McGinn, Mings out are untrue. Need the leadership today to go get all 3 points. And I think that was the biggest piece that annoyed me the most, is like, there's our captain or our vice captain. We've already lost our previous captain to transfer. So, I just don't need this upheaval. I don't need this upheaval in my life at this moment in time. I'm doing a bloody podcast from a car. I don't need to have my captain and my vice captain out, because I'll be watching this match on my phone underneath a table through the whole lot of this game as well. So it's I just don't need the upheaval that's involved here with it. But thanks, Brendan. Thanks for popping on. Look at this morning from a rainy Brazil. I'd like to say I feel sorry for you, Connor, but we're definitely getting our fair share of rain over here, but just not today. Today is actually lovely. There you can see how lovely and sunny it is here in
I can see the
Ireland at the
sun
moment.
beating down on my head here from the Velux window, so I'm struggling a little bit here.
Yeah, look, you can see it here that it's so sunny here that sun is catching my beard, and I've got a real Santa Claus look about me today. Um,
And that's the
so
sun's fault,
yeah,
Neil, isn't it?
the sun has bleached my beard. I'm going to say it's not age, it's not hard drinking and lack of sleep at the age of 36. But yeah, Connor is saying that there's some posts on Twitter there that says the COVID isn't true. So let's hope that is the case. We've only a couple of minutes left, I'd say, maybe even seconds. It could even be out by now. Bobby, thanks a million for popping in again. Rain in New Zealand too. Nice temperate climate like ourselves here in Ireland, down there in New Zealand. But good on you, fellas. Love the show. Hoping we see Ollie Watkins getting some minutes today. Philogene Bides to start on the left, maybe. Possibly, there's with the potential turmoil that's in the team setup. That's that definitely could be something that we could see. Connor again, saw a picture. Mings is at Villa Park. Fingers crossed. Maybe he could be at Villa Park if he's injured.
He could be there if he's injured
Could be
too. Yeah,
there, but yeah,
but look, we're nearly there. I just want to put these rumors to bed now, hopefully, and
yeah.
get it over with.
Says Mings is in Villa Park. There's always a few Mingers there. There's always a few. Yeah, they're usually in the away end, though. We're going to say they're usually in the away end. Rob, great to see you as well. Is clocking in. What else have we here, guys? Arsenal getting battered right now. Abject performance. Decent chance Villa will finish ahead of them this season. I thought there was a decent chance Villa would would finish ahead of them last season. I actually had 100 quid. I had 100 quid bet on with one of my Arsenal supporting mates, and let's just say I thought I was confident up until maybe about March, and then I wasn't so confident after that. So let's see. I don't know if we have the team sheet there yet, Paddy, but if Watkins is fit, do you start him or bring him off the bench, or what do you do?
I envisage we'll see him off the bench. They won't. They'll be anxious to see him get game time, but they won't want to have to take him off after 20 minutes. So I'd imagine you're going to see him 60, 70 minutes in, if he's fit enough. Bear in mind that we've got 2 weeks off after this, so my opinion would be let him go if we have enough back up there and we don't have any problems with the rumors that were circulating. So we're going to find out now. We're 1:58 now, so 2 minutes to go.
King 81 seems to have his finger on the pulse. He says that Axel is in and Carney is in, that there's no McGinn or no Mings. Well, look, we've got a squad now. So if Mings and McGinn are out, look, it's very unfortunate.
Plus, it's not going to be Axel either. It's going to be Courtney House if it's Mings, because he likes to play with left-sided defenders on the left side. So
I would have thought House, and we all know that the Courtney House is my guilty pleasure. So I'm pulling for Courtney House to come in there in that instance. But Courtney House or Axel Tuanzebe, look, they're both very, very viable defenders in the Premier League, and Carney is definitely somebody that I would love to see get a shout in there. But maybe having Carney and Jacob Ramsey in there at the same time, maybe he might opt for. We might even see Conor McGregor in there. That'd be something if we saw Conor McGregor in there. Conor Horan in there, or Marvelous Nakamba. But look, we've got options, as I say. We've definitely got options. Stuart, welcome aboard from New Zealand. Thank you so much, reporting for duty. Shout out to the New Zealand Lions. As always, New Zealand Lions, you guys are always checking in at crazy o'clock in the morning to see us, and we really appreciate it.
Must be the middle of the night over there. Fair play, Stuart. Thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark Holmes. Smith Rowe must be seriously regretting his choices now. Yeah, maybe. But then again, the flip side of that game is that maybe Jack Grealish isn't regretting his choices, considering that they're 4-0 up. But, it swings and roundabouts, I suppose, there. But Smith Rowe is a fine player. He's actually been one of Arsenal's better players over the course of the first 2 games, I thought. But as I say, he could have been doing it in claret and blue as well.
Neil, we have white smoke.
White smoke, go for it, Paddy.
And I'm afraid we have some bad news. There is no Mings. There is no Mings. There is no John McGinn. And there is no Ramsey.
Yeah.
So we've got Martinez in goal, Cash at right back, Target at left back. That was another rumour that Ashley Young had it too, so that is possible. Konza and Tuanzebe in the middle, which we alluded to earlier. I'm surprised that it's not Courtney House, who is on the bench. And then the midfield. Oh, sorry, Ashley Young is there. He's in midfield with Douglas Luiz, Carney, and himself. And then Buendia, El Ghazi, and Ings up top. So
Buendia, El Ghazi, and oh Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that could be that could be Young off the wing with Buendia in behind as well.
That's 4-4-4, or that's 4-4-2, Paddy.
Well,
4-1-1, I think.
It could be Young on the left, Mings through the middle, and El Ghazi on the right, with Buendia in behind in the 10 position.
Yeah. That's probably more like it, or else it's probably, I would say, Young, maybe. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see first attacker or two there.
Yeah, but it means our bench is light now. So we've got Steer, Gilbert, House, Aaron Ramsey, Nakamba, Philogene Badais, Horahan, Cameron Archer, and Ollie Watkins. So, Jesus, where do we start? So Matt Targett's back in. Rate that as a plus or minus. I don't know. He got 90 minutes under his belt at the weekend during the week, didn't he? At Barrow. So he should be fine. There's obviously the option, if he's not fine, to put Young back in there. Surprised that it's Tuanzebe and Konza. Maybe there's something in the deal with Tuanzebe that he is to play if our two first choices aren't available. Konza's captain.
It could be more to do with the fact that their two strikers are very lively and like to move around. And House, look, I know I slag and joke about House being one of our favourites, but look, he does have limitations with the ball at his feet, and he loves high balls at him. He deals with the ball in the air. He's one of the best headers. He's one of the best aerial defenders in Europe, statistically. Yeah. So maybe bringing in Tuanzebe is better because Brian Mbeumo is a fine player, and that Onyeka as well, breaking from midfield, another fine player as well. Even Tony, we all know what he can do with the ball at his feet too. So interesting.
Yeah. I think how they line up speaks for themselves. Apart from where Buendia and Young go, El Ghazi's either going to be off the left or off the right. So it's just a question of, does he play Young in behind or Buendia in behind? I honestly don't know. I'm annoyed now that these rumors are true, because it's so frustrating now. We think we're out the other side of it, and then this happens. The news filtered through overnight that this was the case. It wasn't news. It felt like rumors. So you kind of treat them with a pinch of salt. But now here we are, knowing that they're true. That it is kind of worrying.
Well, Broken, thank you so much, Broken. Broken says there's no sweat today. 3 points. Minus 3 points. No, hopefully we don't get minus 3 points today. But hopefully it's definitely 3 points today. But no, look, come here, guys. Look, at the end of the day, and I was having a good think about this last night, and I was reading Twitter, and I was reading the kind of I'm going to call it a backlash to the information that was out there, and look, information was 100% true. So it's nothing against the information, and to be honest with you, it's nothing against the backlash either. But I got myself thinking, and I was going, I'm often here and I make jokes about Smith out and Smith in and everything like that. But the reality of the situation here is now that we have a manager. Let him manage the team. We have a manager. So like at the end of the day, we can talk about getting another central midfielder in. We can talk about getting another defensive midfielder in, another striker in, another attacker in. We're light at left back. We're light at right back. Let's see if we can manage our way out of today's predicament. We're playing against a team who've just come up. Granted, they've got 4 points. They've just come up. They're on the crest of a wave, but that's fine. Let's go in there and let's stop them and let's hit them on the break and a shitty 1-0 win again. It would be absolutely fantastic. But I've no doubt in my mind that Dean Smith can manage this team, manage that team that he's put out there to win this game.
Do you want to
shouldn't be controversial?
No, shouldn't. No. But look, I think that's the best team he can put out. I'm just going to run through quickly the Brentford team.
Yes.
Seems to be one change there. Godos replaces Onyeka. So that's a bonus that Onyeka isn't there for us.
Oh, excellent. Well, that just goes to show how much I know. I said that he'd be the main man for them this week.
But he's not even on the bench, which would suggest he's injured or COVID or whatever Jesus has happening now at this stage.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Raya in goal, Ayer, Janssen, Pinnock, obviously those three, and then they decide whether they're a 3 or a 5 as the game goes on. Canos, Janelt, Norgad,
Yes, yeah,
Godas, Henry, Mbueno, and Ivan Toney.
yeah.
So,
Big thing there is that I think that just thinking as well about the way they set up in the team that you named, it's probably like Ashley Young might. It's hard because would Ashley Young be playing in the 10 position? Could play him there, and it mightn't be the worst thing in the world because they're going to need somebody to stand down and Ethan Pinnock. They're going to need somebody because Ethan Pinnock passes the ball, I think, like something like 90 times a game, and what he did in the championship anyway. Serial passer the ball out from centre half. So Villa are going to maybe have something in mind for that, and I think that's very important because look, Brentford just come to play the ball around. So really interesting there. Did you say there's no Carney? Is there? Did you say Carney was in? Carney is in.
Carney is in, yeah.
Brilliant, yeah. Let's take a
No
few
Aaron
comments there,
Ramsey.
Paddy, as well. No, Jacob Ramsey.
Lost you, Neil.
Do you have me back again?
There you are. Yep.
No Jacob Ramsey, no Aaron Ramsey, but Carney's in there. Let's take a look
Yeah.
at some of the comments. Carney's chance to shine, and if you had to choose a breakout game, you would choose this game against the newly promoted side with 2 weeks break after. Can't disagree with that. Absolutely can't disagree with that. Very sound logic there. And this is probably a good point as well. Much and all as we're very much Courtney House homers. Tuanzebe is just a better defender than House. Makeshift side, but we should still have enough up the Villa from Thailand. Excellent. Look, Tuanzebe is a better defender than House, but look, it's just interesting that Dean Smith does like left and right centre halves, and House is definitely a left-sided centre half. So interesting. This Paddy, we've made the big time. We've got spam channels trying to sell people dodgy links in our on our YouTube
Don't
feed.
click on any links,
So
guys. We
don't
haven't
click no.
unless we share them. Don't click on them.
I'm blocking people like it's going out of fashion here. It's going out of fashion, and none of you guys, just anybody who's sharing links.
Somebody
Joseph Baines makes a good point.
Somebody asking who the captain is. Courtney Ezri Konza is the captain today.
Ezri Konza is captain today. Yeah, like to have seen Philogene Bidet start ahead of El Ghazi. I'd like to have seen it, but I can understand. Like I don't think it was ever going to happen. Just given that El Ghazi's run of form at the moment is so big. Like he's coming off 2 goals, albeit against more or less a semi-pro side. Well, no, they're not. And it's very derogatory of me to say stuff like this against League 2 sides, but they were bottom half of League 2 side, and he scored 2 goals. But
look, it's very hard to drop someone
success.
when they're on the crest of a wave. I think he scored 3 goals now this season, so albeit 2 penalties. But look, it's hard to drop him, so I think we just have to accept that. Anyone that listens to this know that I would drop him regardless of how many goals he's scoring. Danny Ings can take the penalties, it's fine. But he's in there on merit, unfortunately. That's the way it is, as much as I'd love to see Philogene Bidet having a go.
Liam says, hope it's Young behind Ings and Buendia wide. We'll have to be scrappy today and match Tony's physicality. Up the Villa from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Yeah, it does. I'm not going to say go Ravens, no matter how much you ask me. But yeah, they're persona non gratis. But you certainly aren't, Liam. You're very, very welcome, and thanks so much for tuning in. But I think that's right. I think it will be Young in the 10 position. I'd like to see that, and that's where his versatility comes into play. Where am I off to? I'm not off to anywhere at the moment. I'm somewhere, put it that way. But last minute, I had to go somewhere. Otherwise, I would be in the confines of my podcasting boudoir, as I normally am. But just a bit of upheaval going on at the moment, but it's all good, not major. Chuck Moeka shirt. My Chuck Moeka. Okay, let's start that again. My Chuck Moeka shirt on. This is his day. Well, Jonathan, fair play to you. And if he scores a goal today, it's all because of that shirt. I can feel it in my waters. I can feel it in my waters for sure. Um, Liam is back in again. Love your work. Makes it fun to watch, to follow AVFC from the USA. And I listen before and after every game. Can't wait to see Carney today up the Villa. Thanks so much, Liam. Means an awful lot, as I say. Maybe I will say go Ravens now. So maybe I
Thanks,
will.
Liam.
Thanks so much, Liam. Thank you so much. What else will be there? Yeah, Carl says here that you can't drop El Ghazi right now. And I think that's probably right. Much in all this, he does go missing in games sometimes and maybe doesn't have maybe he isn't a fighter as such. He does come up with goals when we need them, and to have that experience, if you were to have Philogene Bides in there along with Carney and along with just with new players coming into the team as well, with Ings up top and Buendia, I think El Ghazi knows how to play in Dean Smith's system, and for sure I
Right.
think he should be there. And that this is fair as well. He scores, but there's little else. No assists last season. I once played soccer with a guy, and this is a God's honest truth. I once played soccer with a guy who was about 18, and we're only a very very tiny club. But we got to a regional final here in Ireland. We got to the Munster. It was Munster semi final, and we had a guy playing, and there was all the scouts were there to watch him. And the criticism he got afterwards was all he's good for is scoring goals. Now the young fella had about 40 goals in the season. And the criticism was all he does is score goals. So maybe it is a valid criticism, but I know where you're coming from, certainly in that one, Joseph. I just, every time I hear someone say that just reverberates in my mind. Sure, all he's good for is scoring goals and winning games. But I know exactly where you're coming from. When you're not a striker, you would expect him to have some assists and he takes some wild shots. So you would expect him to score. Plus, also, of his 10 goals last season, 4 more penalties. So not having any assists is a bit of a worry. And that is a
Yeah.
criticism, and certainly one that we've labelled at him before as well, for sure.
I also played with a guy like that, Neil, and we used to call him constipation because he couldn't pass. The guy would literally turn and head for goal no matter where he was on the pitch, and he didn't care if he gave the ball away, he'd shoot from anywhere. So he was constipation.
DC, good to see the Limerick Massive are in here as well. Welcome
Yeah.
aboard. Thanks so much.
Look
Weather
at
is
me,
weather
my
is
big
lovely here
shiny
in
head.
Limerick.
BT, the Limerick
Yeah,
sunshine is beating down on it here.
exactly. Sounds like the missus is giving me the boot. Yeah, lads, actually, that's what it is. I've been living from the
He's all the
car now for the
suitcases in the
next
back
while.
of the car there, have you, Neil?
Yeah, suitcases in the back of the car. Exactly. Yeah, if anyone's a spare room going, I'd love it. Yeah. That's not the case, by the way, just in case, because rumors go right around the place. You know that. Um, Mark Warmold up the Villa from Charlotte, North Carolina. Who's my NFL team? The Cleveland Football Browns, Mark. Mike, the Cleveland Football Browns. Your 2022 Super Bowl winners. That's who my NFL team are. Mark is here as well. 11:10 p.m. here in Sydney. Just saw the team sheet. Very worried, but hopefully we'll be waking up to a Villa win. Mark, stay up for the game.
What's he
Go
mean
on.
waking up?
Stay up
Stay
for the
up, Mark.
Stay up. What? It's on in 20. It's on in the next 40 minutes. You'll be grand. Tell your boss if you're working tomorrow. Tell your boss we said it's all right. I can write you a note and everything will be fine. Um, Here we go. More blockages. Damn, I knew he'd be looking a tiny club. You know what I meant? A tiny village, Darren, not a tiny club. Ballingarry, County Limerick was the club that we were playing with. And so there's actually there's a great system going on there. There would have only, and Darrell will correct me if I'm wrong on this. They're one of only 11 clubs that have the FAI. Is it the club mark star that makes them actual breeding ground for young players now? But we set that off in the day because we were absolutely shit hot back in the day. So we started the conveyor belt back then, and Dara is continuing it on now. I knew he'd be watching. Um, oh, right, guys. Sorry, there's tons and tons of messages coming in here. Tons and tons of messages coming in here. But thanks so much, guys, for everything you do and for watching and for listening and the whole lot. It is roasting in my car at the moment.
Before you
I
go,
think
Neil,
I'm
score
gonna.
prediction.
Score prediction. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-0 Villa.
I'm predicting lots of goals today. 3-2 Villa.
As long as it's a Villa in the plus point, I don't really mind after that
Yeah.
because look, upheaval is upheaval, but let's make the best out of a crisis and come away from this with 3 points and go into the international break and onwards from there. So thanks a million, everyone. Before I pass out, because it wouldn't make very good watching if I was to slowly drift into some sort of coma here because of the heat in the car. Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate it. As I say it every time, and I mean it every time. Appreciate everything you do for the podcast. We'll be back afterwards. It won't be directly afterwards. We won't have an immediate reaction show, but we'll be back later on, maybe tomorrow, just with a tactics show on the game as well, win, lose or draw. But hopefully we have a winning performance from Aston Villa today, and we'll give you time to go and get yourself sorted before the game. But thanks everybody for listening, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.